Right now we're going to have a bit of a deeper look at components in Adobe XD. Let me start with a new artboard and we'll make a few components. Grab the artboard tool and I'll select, I don't know, an iPhone 8. So components are a fantastic tool in XD. They allow us to save objects and graphics into a kind of a library for reuse. They enable us to kind of design and implement systems of design, and they really help enhance our workflow. So let's make some components and we'll look at what they can do. I'm going to start by making a simple button component, a UI object. So let's have a quick look at the grid that's default. That'll do me. And I'm going to create a couple of shapes. I'll just zoom in a bit and have a look at what I'm doing here. Kind of a pill-shaped button is what I'm after. No border, and it's going to be an orange colour. I'm going to save that orange colour into my swatches palette there. And on top of that, I'll create a text object. Right to the centre here. Change my text to centre justified. I'm going to use Montserrat. Oops. And I'll add in some text here. I'll make it bold. Doesn't really matter what the styling is. Something like this. Of course, white would be better than grey on that orange colour. So that's good. Now I'll just check that those two objects are kind of nice and aligned, which they are, which is good. And I'm going to group them. Object, group. So that kind of sticks them together as one kind of piece, which is great. And with a grouped object, I can add that kind of responsive padding. So if I wanted to make a different button, or different, if I had some different content in there, the padding, the responsive padding allows it to kind of modify, take on that new content. So from here, I'm going to make this into a component, and we can make components in a number of different ways. There is under Object, we can make a component there. We can right-click on a group and make it a component. In the components kind of list here in the document assets, you can access that through this icon here. We can add a component there as well, and I think even on our properties panel we can make a component. So I can choose any of those four options to make a component. Once I've applied one of those, I can see that there's a component in the component list there. And I might change this to button, change the name to button. Just while I'm there, I'm going to go in here and make sure that I've set that to caps. Alright, so now I can delete that, and whenever I want an instance of a button, I can drag that and drop that on an artboard, which is excellent. I could have a whole button. I might have this button, across all of my pages, all of my screens, and yeah, can just really easily reuse it. So that's really good. And also, if I want to edit that button, I can come over to I can edit each of the instances. So we'll call this one first button. I'll call this one another button. And leave the last one just as it is. If I want to edit the main component, so the kind of parent component, because components are hierarchical, we have a main component which we created earlier, and then these ones that are on the artboard are instances of the main component, so they are kind of children of that parent. And I can edit the children, but I can also edit the main component. And if I don't have the main component on the artboard, it will add it to me. It will add it to my workspace. And then if I want to make changes to that, I can. And those changes will then, they're kind of global to all the instances. So if I wanted to change the style, I can do that, or whatever I wanted to do. Can implement that through the main component, and all of the instances will update after those adjustments have been made. Now you can see that we've got the bounding box for a component is green, which is different to normal grouped, which are blue, and a main component has a filled in diamond on the top right, whereas the instances of that main component have an unfilled in diamond. You can see that in these examples. The other thing to note there is if I've made a modification to a button, like I have with these two here, I've changed the text, there's a little cross inside that diamond which indicates a change, where this one is as is. It's an unedited instance of this main component that is not filled in with a cross. So that's components, and there's more that we can do with components, and in the next couple of videos I'll run you through some of those things.